Hey vegan food explorers, I've got a very spicy review for you today. It is the vegan Mexicana slices. Let's get into the video.
Don't forget to subscribe for more awesome content coming up.
Okay, so this is made by a company called Ilchester. Ilchester are a big dairy cheese company. They make loads of things from red Leicester, cheddar, they make applewood. They also make the regular Mexicana dairy slices, so made with cow's milk, and they also make a load of other things like they make the Giles, I think it's pronounced Gilesburg cheese, so make loads of it. However, they also have a massive range of vegan cheeses, so they are the people behind the applewood vegan cheese, which has some of the most crazy fans on the vegan scene, and it is one of the best vegan cheeses out there. It melts really nicely and it's got a great taste. It's really smoky, but many people know that they also own the Mexicana flavour, and so that was one of my favourite cheeses before I went vegan. I was vegetarian for ages and I used to have them in my sandwiches. I absolutely loved them. I'm not a massive cheese fan, but I really liked the Mexicana slices. I'd have those because they just got that pop. They got a really nice texture, they melt really nicely. I just like spicy things, so when I saw these I was really excited about it. I've also had a lot of the fake versions, so I used to shop in Lidl and they have like the Mexican style slices. So I know what I'm looking for here. So you get this slice here, and you get quite a few slices involved actually. So it's normally £2.60 for the whole pack, but this was £2, which I think is a bargain. I've had a couple of the slices. So what's that? 1, 2, 3. That is a lot. That's about 10 slices I think you get in there for £2, which is pretty good. You can also get, I should have said actually, from the applewood and the Mexicana, you can get the blocks. So you could grate it, you could chop it, have more chunky. I know sometimes it's a bit of, I think you do pay more. Actually, no, sorry. Normally you do pay more for the slices, but with these cheeses you don't. And I would actually pay more for the slices just because they're perfectly cut, really nice, and they're just, I mean, you could never cut that from the block. It would be an absolute nightmare, and I like it on my bread. So we're going to do a bit of a taste test. Then I've got some bread that we're going to melt it on. So let's get into it.
Okay, so number one, the packaging, I just love it. I mean, just look at it. It's got these kind of Mexican, Aztec-y pictures and icons. So it's called the Vegan Mexicana Slices, super melting, a blend of spices, jalapeno, bell and chili peppers. It's got calcium and B12 added into it. It's two pepper spicy. It's vegan approved and it's free from dairy, soya, lactose and gluten. That's pretty cool. I'm not gluten free, but I know a lot of people are. But also that it doesn't have the soya because some people are also allergic to that. So how do they make it? So they make it with dried spice mix, the blend of peppers, and it's made with predominantly coconut oil, which is really interesting. So that's where you get that cheesy, you know, the oil, the fat content. That's where it all comes from. So I assume it then has, calcium chloride and vitamin and B12 added. So it has calcium and vitamin B12 added, which is pretty good. So per 100 grams, it's 30% and of your calcium and 100% of your B12. So I mean, this is, I think, 200 grams. So I mean, it's not that much. I mean, you'd have to eat half the pack to get that. So, you know, it's not a significant amount of your calcium intake is going to be this. But B12, you know, it's just good to top it up, I think, and just get that little bit from everywhere you can. So let's have a look. So already I think it looks quite different to the real thing. The real thing has got much more, it's normally circles. It's got the little circle bits in it. Whereas this is much more, looks like regular cheese, and then it's got these little bits of where they must be the peppers and the spices. Holds together quite well. Not so much, it sometimes does break, I've noticed, on the bits where they've added in the pepper bits. So, you know, it's already breaking. If I kind of go like that, it does start to break in these sections. So structural rigidity, not 100% great, but it's okay. The colour looks good. Yeah, it's already broken there. You can see it's got these weak points here. So you don't want to be kind of moving it around everywhere because it will start to break. So let's have a quick smell. It smells good. It's got that fiery smell which we really know and love. Let's get a quick knife and just cut it and see how it cuts. I'm going to cut it this way. Yeah, it cuts super easily. I would say it does feel a bit... If I was doing a blind test and I was feeling this, I don't know. I don't think I'd think this was cheese. It doesn't squish. Do you see that? It doesn't squish. It just kind of breaks. But that's okay, because obviously it's not made from dairy milk. So we've got to accept these kind of things. But the taste is where it matters. So we've got a bit here. Let's actually have one of these bits. I'm going to eat this because it's got that bit of chili in. Let's go for it.
That is nice. Oh, yeah, it's got a kick, real kick to it, actually. I need a drink. Yeah, it's got a real kick to it. It is different to the normal Mexicana, I will say that. It's the texture, like I said before. The taste, I would say, very, very similar. It's got quite a deep profile. Not really deep. I would say the dairy milk Mexicana's got a very deep, complex flavour. I can really taste all the different bits. This is much more of a bit of a cheesy flavour, and then bang, hits you with the spice, which is still good, especially as when most people are going to have this in a sandwich where you just want that heat coming through. Let's try another bit. I like it. I like it. I would say it's not the real, like the original, but it's pretty damn close. That tastes nice. Right, now we've done that, I'd say that's a good. Say the other one is 10, the original is 10. I'd say that's an 8. That's pretty damn good. The texture, need to sort the texture, a bit too plasticky, but it says super melting. Let's find out.
Right, I've just buttered some bread using our favourite plant-based butter, Flora, which is great. Flora light, very light. So we've got some toast here. We're going to do a cardinal sin and put it in the microwave. I know some people are going to be disgusted that I'm not putting it under the grill, but I ain't got time for that. And if it can't melt in a microwave, then, you know, it's not worth it. So we're going to put this in for a few minutes and we'll see what happens. Okay, I think I put it in for too long. That looks serious. I literally put that in for, what's that, 23 seconds? Oh my god, maybe I should have put it in for less. That has completely and utterly nuclearified. Wow. Oh, it smells great. Let's have just a quick... Oh, so it hasn't yet melted in the middle, but it is completely... Wow, that is impressive. Look at that. Jeez. Okay, that is very impressive. Let's have a quick... Okay, that's good. Right, I'm just going to chop it in half and we'll get eating it. Right.
We've just cut it in half. We've got this fresh bit. Let's go for it. Still hot. That is good. Again, let's say the meltability, it says super melting. I agree, that is amazing melting. That is seriously good. I wouldn't expect that from a dairy cheese, let alone a vegan cheese. That is amazing. The smell, fantastic. This would be, oh, it'd be so great if you had some vegan ham on here. It would be amazing. Or vegan like slices would be great. Spiciness, it is spicy. It's got a real kick to it. I just ate a couple of bites and I'm like, oh yeah, I can really feel that heat. The flavour, so the texture's great when it melts, but the flavour, it just doesn't have that cheese kick. It doesn't have that cheesy, rich kind of aroma in your mouth. It has the spice, but it doesn't quite have the cheesiness that I really like in the Mexicana. Have another bite. It's a really weird... God, I have to drink. It's a really weird feeling, actually. You've got the amazing texture, you've got the smell, you've got the spice, and you keep waiting for that big hit of cheese, but it just doesn't come. That's very interesting, which I do think you get a lot more when it's not been melted. But that's really interesting. I think this would be, yeah, so I'd say melted, I think it's got to go down to a 6 out of 10 compared to the original, but it's still nice, and it still does do that heat, and it's got the texture, it's just not that cheesiness. So I'd recommend this with maybe double up the butter so you get kind of creamy flavour, then have the cheese. Maybe I need more cheese on there. I'm going to try it later with a couple of bits. Check out my Instagram to see how that goes. So I'll put a post there about it later. But I think with some ham, some vegan ham, bit more butter, maybe a bit more cheese, then it's going to be really, really good. So I hope that helps. Let me know if you've tried Mexicana slices. Let me know if there's any other spicy cheese out there that I've missed, and see you in the next video.